Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about the 100 prequel. So it has been announced that the CW will not go forward with the CW prequel. And all I gotta say about that is, thank God. I did not want to see that prequel in any kind of shape, way, or form. Mainly because, of how different the show shifted in tone throughout its 6-year run and everything. Now, for those who don't know, the 100 was a really good CW show. It wasn't a comic book show. It was based off of one of those YA novels. However, what was interesting was that the show came out during the time the first book was being written, so it hadn't even finished, and they didn't know what the whole book was going to be about, but they still made a show out of it. So of course they changed an extreme lot in the show, but they had a little reference here and there, but they did a good job in the first 2 seasons. By the 3rd season they went a little too sci-fi with it. But the 4th season was pretty okay. The 5th season when it got really stupid. And the 6th season was just garbage. See, if you don't know what this show is about, it's about 100 years ago, Earth got nuked. Basically, all the nukes and the entire world went off at the same time, and it blew up the world and everything. And so before that happened, 100 people was able to get off Earth and live in a space station above Earth. And they stayed there for 100 years. And so 100 years later, they wanted to see if it's safe to go back to Earth. So they sent down 100 teenagers. These 100 teenagers were juvenile delinquents who were arrested on the space station. Basically on the space station, it has a lot of rules. You break even one rule, you're arrested. If you break a severe rule, you get floated. What is floated? Basically, they throw you out the air shaft thing. And yeah, some extreme rules, like I told you. So, those 100 went down. And so the Earth was okay to breathe and everything. And so as the teenagers are having fun and everything, they realized there are some people who survived the nuclear holocaust. These people are named grounders. And the grounders have reverted back to Earth primitive savage type. So they dress very tribal. They kind of they're almost cave-like in a way. They look like monsters in the face, but then it's revealed that they're just wearing masks and everything, and they have no guns. They rely on arrows and swords and stuff like that. So there's a huge fight between the 100 teenagers and the grounder people. Towards the end, they get captured by the people of Mount Weather. Mount Weather was the location rendezvous point that the 100 was supposed to go to, but their rocket thing steered off course. The mountain men, as they're called, the Mountain Weather people, their technology is pretty much the same as it was in the year we're living in right now. And so they have all kind of weapons and stuff like that. And so they live in a bunker, but they're not able to breathe the air outside because they've been living down there for 100 years. So then they start experimenting on the grounders and the 100 teenagers and stuff. So it's a huge fight between all 3 clan people, and the grounders and now the 100 have to work together. And also above in the space station, it's at the point where it can no longer sustain life. So everybody on there has to come to Earth. Some people make it, some people don't. With the adults being back on Earth, things get a little crazy between them and the 100, because the 100 teenagers are kind of we came down here, we made a living for ourselves and blah, 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 blah. So it's a big power struggle. So then in the 3rd season, they tried to introduce an AI for some bizarre reason. This AI was named Ally, I think. And So what it was is that Allie want everybody to live in kind of like her Matrix type reality. And so it seems that she was evil, but the reason why she did that is because she knew the nukes were about to go off again. It made the world uninhabitable. I can't talk. It's cold. Sorry, y'all. And so like after that, they try to find a way to stop the nukes. They can't stop the nukes, so some of them go underneath ground in a bunker, while some of the teenagers, about 6 or 7 of them, the main cast, go up into outer space, back into the space station. They stay there, and then they come back to Earth, and then it turns out the people who stayed in the bunker, things got crazy. Things got really crazy. It's a mixture of who they call Sky Crew, which is the people on the space station, and the Grounders. They had strict rules. One of the members became like their Red Queen, and to survive, they had to eat people. It got rough. And so, as they're like doing that, all of a sudden, like, what is it? Something was, they're like these, I forget what happened after that. A bunch of craziness happened. Then there's like these people, who were like imprisoners from back in the day, like 100 years ago, and they've been living off in space, and these like chambers that like, freezes them type thing, like a stasis unit. They come back down to Earth. This is when the show gets really sci-fi. Their weapons are now more advanced and kind of weird looking, and something else happens, and some more nukes like go off or something like that, and they can't live on Earth no more. It's just uninhabitable. So what did they do? No, wait, what happened? No, wait. Nukes went off at the end of the 4th season. So what the world happened at the end of the 3rd? I forgot. I've watched the first 2 seasons earlier this year again. It's been years since I watched the 3rd, so I can't really remember what happened to that. But I do remember what happened in the 4th. In the 4th, the nukes about to go off, so they went up. So everybody, I think nukes went off a 2nd time or a 3rd, something like that. Anyway, they had to go back up to the space station again, and they thought 100 years, it'd be safe to go back. Well, it's not. Earth, you can only live on. So they searched for a new planet that's just like Earth. And on that alien planet, wouldn't you guess it, some other people from Earth went there many 100 years ago. And so I'm thinking to myself, okay, cool. The 5th season, it should be pretty interesting, We get to see an alien planet. Well, it was a low budget alien planet and a lot of weird stuff. And people there were really stupid. And I couldn't really stand them. The 5th season, at first started off good, but then it turned bad. And then the 6th season was just pure garbage. And then the 6th season, that is when the backdoor pilot happened for the prequel. We got to see what happened prior to like 100 years, or to now 200 years ago, with the nukes going off. It turns out the Earth didn't go to war with itself. The AI system did it. And there's a man who's like power bent and mad and crazy and all this alien stuff and all these like wormholes. And it just got stupid. It got really stupid. And the backdoor pilot just was not good at all. Mainly because like the main actress, she wasn't all that for like the prequel and stuff. She was okay, but she was still new to acting. At least it seemed that way. And so after the series ended, and it ended in a very terrible way, by the way. Like, this is a show people love, but a lot of people agree. Around the 3rd season, it got kind of funky. And then by the last 2, it just turned to garbage. And it got stanky. And so, like, yeah, so for like, what was it? Like, probably like a year and a half, maybe 2, they talked about making that prequel, and then now they finally decided they're not going to do it. And you know what? I bet you anything right here, right now, they're probably not going to make the Powerpuff Girls either, I bet you. But, anyways. So, yeah, if you was hoping for the prequel series, well, I'm sorry for you, because it's just not going to happen. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.